please do not sleep on number 7. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video, we are testing and reviewing the Pro Artist range from number 7. Up until recently, I hadn't used number 7 products since I was a teenager, and I'm almost 43 now. So I picked up a bunch of products from their Pro Artist range, and today I would love to share them with you. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. So I have almost a full face of makeup today. Not a full face because there are some items that I really did not want to buy, such as a mascara. I just don't need any right now. I'm supposed to be on a mascara no buy and I've not been doing very well. Today we're going to be covering the number 7 Pro Artist range. So I had a quick look at what this range is supposed to be, and this is described as a premium feel makeup collection, and it is designed to deliver professional quality results, all priced under £20 in the UK or between 20 to 24 euros if you are over here in Ireland. Now, like I said in the intro, until recently, I haven't used number 7 since I was a teenager. I keep seeing people talking about number 7, and I'm not just talking UK or European content creators. I'm talking my American friends who have YouTube channels. They always talk about number 7, so they've been on my mind for a while. And I saw Nicola Chapman reviewing this, which is the Pro Artist Weightless Silk Sheer Foundation, and Nicola Chapman makes everything look good, and I think she is a number 7 partner, so she gets paid, I think, and I know she wouldn't review or promote something that wasn't actually really good. Now, I do know that number 7 is available in the US. However, I've had a look and I can't find the Pro Artist range. Now, I did email number 7 and I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. So just the day after filming, I received a reply from number 7 regarding my query about when the Pro Artist range would be available in the US. And they said, I'm very sorry this series is not yet available in the US, but it should be available in the coming months. So that is very exciting. I will keep an eye on this. Not sure about the rest of the world, but hopefully it will get rolled out. So I'll keep you updated. So we are going to start with the eyes, and we're going to start with this eyeshadow palette, this little quad. This is called the number 7 Pro Artist Eyeshadow Palette Light Camera Action. Now this retails for £21.99 in Ireland, and in the UK it's £16.95. However, I do want to say one really important thing, and you'll know this already. With number 7, you never pay full price for their products because they always have either, and I know this from living in the UK and Ireland, they always either have a 3 for 2 on, or they have something like spend 30 euros, get 15 euros off. You can't really complain. So these prices, take with a pinch of salt. You know, I do think that 3 for 2 offers can be a little bit sneaky because they encourage you to purchase more, and that's why they're there, and obviously it worked with me. However, don't be purchasing products unless you actually really need them or you've had your eye on them for a while. Don't get sucked into purchasing 3 products if you only really want one. So there were a few different colour stories for these little eyeshadow quads, and I went for this one, which is Lights, Camera, Action. And it really is, I guess it's just me and a palette, really. Very neutral. When I swatched these, I literally couldn't believe it. So I had to get them. And you know, sometimes I think you're better with a quad. I know that you're obviously not getting as much for your money. However, a lot of the times when we have a big palette, we just reach for 3 or 4 shades all the time anyway, and this is just a lot more compact. So we are going to start over here with this brown. This is a little bit warm actually, and I'm going to use my Big Hair Beauty N13. They actually do have some number 7 brushes, some new ones as part of this Pro Artist range, but I didn't pick any up because there was none in my local store. I've already prepped my eyes. I only use concealer today. So these have pigment, but they're not overly pigmented. So just blending back and forth, blending really nicely, no patchiness. I'm not struggling with it. And it's not, you know, sometimes you can get eyeshadows and they can literally just be too pigmented because it's so hard to rescue an eye look when you've added too much. But that is just enough. You could actually just pop this brown all over the lid and it would make a great one and done if you're into more matte looking eye looks. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in with this deepest shade. Now, I'm not going to put this on the whole outer corner, but I'm going to take my BK Beauty N12, which is just a kind of a smudger brush, and I'm just dipping it into that shade, and I'm just going to take some on the lash line and just kind of smoke it a bit, tiny amount. You'll have to let me know if you have been an avid No7 user, or whether you have been like me, kind of been sleeping on them because you used them as a teenager and you didn't really realize how good they got. Let me know about your No7 journeys. I would love to hear what you think of them. And also, if you have tried this Pro Artist range, I want to hear from you. And I'm not getting any fallout here. So I'm just kind of smudging that outer corner a bit. I'm actually going to take that lightest brown under the lash line as well. And then I'm going to go back in with that lightest brown again and just go over the crease. So now I'm going in with this. This is so pretty. Just going in with my finger because that is the best way to apply any type of shimmery satin shades. And you know, the beauty of these shimmers is that they are really, really soft. They are not glittery shimmers. Just going over with my brush. This is the BK Beauty A505. This is such a fantastic day to night palette. You can go somewhere mid-range like this. You can go full smoky if you want to dip more into this brown, or you could use just this beautiful kind of, it's a little bit coppery looking, this shimmer, and that is such an incredible one and done shadow. So this is a lot more versatile than what it first looks. Right, let's pop a little bit of this into the inner corner. Oh my gosh, so good. You would find a shimmer like that in any Natasha Denona palette, for real. It is the same quality, the same pigment. Honestly. I'm going to take a little bit of the lighter shade again, and I'm going to pop a little bit just in the center of my eye here. This is my Refa 26. I'm just going to pop a little bit just on the lash line a bit, just to kind of open up my eye because of my deep set eyes. I'm going to take my Sigma EO6 brush. It's a winged liner brush, and I'm going to go into that darkest shade, and I'm just going to extend my lash line ever so slightly. This is such a great way of kind of faking a bit of eyeliner if you don't feel confident enough to do eyeliner. With me, I find that I don't massively suit eyeliner, but I can sometimes struggle because of my deep set eyes. But using a shadow just makes it a little bit easier. And they're easier to fix than what a liquid liner or a pencil would be. This palette is absolutely stunning. If you like simple, straightforward eye makeup with absolutely beautiful and soft formulas that still give you pigment but are not going to be too much and hard to control, I think you'll love this. I am heading away on my travels soon, and this is just small enough to bring away with me. It's fantastic. I did have the mascara in my basket, but as I said, I am on a mascara no bite, so I changed my mind. But it is a tubing mascara. If you've ever tried it, let me know what it's like. I'm sure at some point in the future I will give in to my weakness and I will buy it. But for now, I'm just going to throw on a different mascara and then we'll move on to the complexion. I actually meant to say that the palette does come with one of these brushes. I really don't know how much use you would get out of a brush like that, to be honest. Maybe the inner corner. Oh yeah, that's good for that. Oh yeah, look at that. Blow my neck. Right. Okay. So listen, intricate little detail with this, but apart from that, pretty useless. So next we are going in with this, which is the No7 Pro Artist Touch-Up Concealer. Now this was $25.99, and obviously I did get one item free. So this is a creamy hydrating concealer pen which instantly conceals, brightens and blurs with one click. I think that the main aim of this is to blur imperfections, dark circles, reduce the appearance of pigmentation. Yeah, so I guess it's quite multi-purpose. Look, this is my issue with this pen. So this is, as I said, 26 euros or £20, and you only get 1.8 mil of product. 1.8 mil. That is 0.06 fluid ounces. It's like the Lisa Eldridge pen all over again, apart from you are actually supposed to use this under your eyes. That's not a lot of product at all, and I have used this and it's fine. But would I pay 26 euros again for it? Absolutely not. So you just have to be a little bit wise when you are looking at how much product you are getting. And I know that I seem to be talking about this a lot recently, but it's very important to know if we're getting our money's worth, and I don't know if you are with this product. So it is a concealer pen and it has one of these clicky tips. So when you first get this, you do have to click it for at least a minute, I would say, before the product comes out. Now, I have this in the shade 5. I think there were 6 shades to choose from, and this is the second to darkest because this is a peachy shade. And honestly, the shade range isn't great, but it was definitely the best shade for my skin tone. So that's how my dark circles are looking, and I'll just pop some kind of under the whole eye. This is quite creamy, but it is lightweight, and you can go in with quite a bit of this and it would be fine. So going in with my BK Beauty A506, and I'm just going to tap that in. I mean, you could tap it in with your finger, to be honest. And it is very hydrating feeling. I don't have an issue with the actual product. I just don't think you get a lot for your money, and it's only supposed to be, I get it, a touch-up pen, but yeah, it's very expensive for a touch-up concealer, in my opinion. You know, at the end of the day, it's still drugstore, but it's done a really nice job, hasn't it? It is very smooth. But I mean, it hasn't concealed all of my darkness, but it doesn't claim to be that kind of concealer, I guess. And I do genuinely think that you would use this up in no time. I guess if you are looking for a concealer to use out and about, on the go, for random touch-ups during the day, or to bring when you're traveling, then I guess it would be fab. But I wouldn't recommend using it under the whole eye every day, because you're gonna run out pretty quick. And it's super buildable, and I've been wearing this and genuinely haven't had any creasing with it. I think it's nice. I just think it's expensive for what you get. It really is. I feel like a broken record recently, because it seems to be all I'm saying on this channel is talking about costs. But I think in the world that we're living in right now, You have to be really aware of the things that you are purchasing and whether you are actually getting your money's worth. I would say it's a light to medium coverage in my opinion. Now, obviously I do have hyperpigmentation and a few little different issues, but we'll have a look at those and see about concealing them once we've done the foundation. We are moving on to the main event of today, and this is the new No7 Pro Artist Weightless Silk Sheer Foundation. Very excited to share this with you. I have been testing this out. I picked this up in the shade Cool Beige. So let me tell you a little bit about this while I swatch it for you. So this claims to be a silky smooth breathable foundation which glides seamlessly onto the skin for a radiant, fresh and natural finish. This lightweight foundation works over time with added vitamin C to help visibly brighten the skin's appearance, whilst vitamin E helps to support the skin's protective moisture barrier. With hyaluronic acid, this foundation will help to lock in moisture. So you get the standard 30ml product with this, 1 fluid ounce, and it retails for £25.99 or £20. It comes in 12 shades. I went for Cool Beige. I wasn't really sure with the shades, to be honest. This is a true sheer foundation. I would say somewhere between a sheer foundation and a skin tint. I have been wear testing this and I will show you a little bit of footage once I've applied this, but we will pop it on. And I would say that the best way to apply this is definitely with your fingers. So I pump some onto the back of my hand and then I'm going to go in on one side. I will say that I don't love the packaging. I'm not the biggest fan of packaging like that, but it's fine. I don't know if you can tell how fluid this is and lightweight this is. This is obviously not going to be a foundation that you would go for if you are wanting a high level of coverage, because you are not going to get that from this. You are going to get an extremely lightweight amount of coverage. You can still see my skin, but it has evened it all out. So I'll just rub it in on this side. Definitely best done with your fingers in my opinion. Okay, so that's one side, a really, really light layer on this side. And that's with nothing. With nothing. So I'll pop it on and even things out. Now, I definitely have a little bit more kind of uneven skin tone at the moment on this side. And as you can see, the shade match is actually perfect. The shade range is poor though. It is poor. But I would say that these shades are flexible for sure. And in terms of how I've prepped my skin before putting this on, I used my usual skin prep products and I will link them in the description box below. The one thing that people might be disappointed with this foundation, because it's quite like a skin tint, people might be a little bit disappointed that there's no SPF in here. It doesn't bother me. I don't rely on my makeup products for my SPF protection, but I can understand why people would have liked to have had just a little bit of SPF protection, but it doesn't bother me. There we are with this side done as well, and you can see how it's just evened everything out. So the full face is done there. And I did build it up just ever so slightly, but I didn't use too much because for me, this is designed to be a lightweight product. It definitely feels like a skin tint and I love it. For this time of year, it's absolutely perfect. If you've ever used the Lisa Eldridge skin tint, it feels extremely similar to that. I would say that the Lisa Eldridge possibly has a little bit more coverage than this though. So you can still see my skin underneath. It's definitely barely there, very undetectable. So it doesn't sit into lines or pores because it's extremely hydrating. It doesn't emphasize any texture on my face and it has a very, very skin-like finish. So I have worn this for over 12 hours and although it doesn't disappear completely, it definitely fades considerably. I would say it starts to fade around the 7 hour-ish mark and I wouldn't expect anything less, to be honest, from a product like this. Maybe you're that kind of person who doesn't like to wear a lot of makeup and you don't like to feel makeup on your skin. If you are that kind of person, then yeah, I think you'll really enjoy this. I think it's a really, really beautiful product. Let's use this touch-up concealer again, and I'm just going to use my fingers, but I'm going to go in on a few parts of my face and see if I can touch up like it promises. So I'm just going to blend out with my finger. Just going to try my BK Beauty N16 and blend it out with that. Sometimes a brush is better than a finger. Oh yeah, that's better. Love this brush. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, on the nose I have broken capillaries there. And under my nose. Just concealing some hyperpigmentation. Do you know, I think it's decent for touching up. I just wish you got more product. It's not a lot. It's not enough. Okay, moving on. And I picked up 2 of the Pro Artist sticks. These are multi-sticks. So one is a lip and cheek pen, which has a blush and a highlighter on. And the other is a face and eye stick, which has a bronzer and a shade that you can use on your eye. Obviously, these are multifunctional. You can use them wherever. Obviously, I'm not going to use anything on the eyes today because I've already done that, but I have done. And I didn't love it on my eye. I found that it did crease a little bit, but I hadn't prepped my eyes, so I can't really fairly say that it didn't work properly on my eyes. But let's go in with the face and eye stick first. There's 2 different options with these. There's light bronze and deep bronze. I actually went for the light bronze, but I'm kind of regretting that now. I wish I'd have gone for the deeper one, but I will probably pick that up too. So this is light bronze, and I'll just swatch the shades for you. So there's the bronzer, and that's the kind of champagne-y shade that you can use on the eye. Really nice, really, really beautiful. You can obviously go in straight on the face if you want to, but I'm not going to do that because sometimes when you pop something straight on the face, it will disturb the makeup. So I'm just going to take my BK Beauty A507 and I'm just going to brush into the bronzy part, and I'm just going to push it into the skin. These are lovely. I've been using these every day and they have great longevity too. I am such a big fan of these. I'm going away soon and I'm definitely taking these with me for sure. And they're very, very buildable. So I feel like they're very forgiving. I know some people can be a little bit scared of cream products, but they are so forgiving. And if you mess it up, they're really easy to rescue. Isn't that just so pretty? So gorgeous. Now, obviously, I can use that other bit on my face if I want, but I'm going to use the actual highlighter. I didn't even say the price. So these retail for about €20 or £15. This is supposed to be the lip and cheek product. I didn't realize it was lip and cheek actually. I've been using this as a blush and this as a highlighter. I don't know, are you supposed to use that on the lips? I haven't used it on my lips. Let's do that. Yeah, that's okay. It's a bit light for my lips. Okay, I'm not going to use that as lip, but I'm going to use that as a blush and that as a highlighter. So for this, I like to use my BK Beauty N17, which is double-sided. And I'm just going to wash into the blush and just pop it on the cheek. I'm absolutely bowled over by these products. I think they are incredible. And these are just incredibly convenient. Sorry, the sun is in and out here today, and I like to film with some daylight recently. I just think it looks better, but obviously I cannot control the sun here in Ireland. It just looks really natural and pretty. And this is just such a nice neutral pink. So then I'm going to take the other end, which is the highlightery bit. And I've been liking to put this on with my BK Beauty 113. It just allows me to push it into the skin a bit. And I'm not the biggest highlighter fan, but this is not like a normal highlighter. It's so incredibly subtle. Can you see the subtle glow there? It's so beautiful. Love it. Very natural. And that's exactly what I want from my complexion products. I don't want to look heavy and cakey. Love that. These are fantastic. They really are. I'm just going to powder under my eyes and then we'll be back and I'll show you the lips. Okay, so we're going to finish off with a lipstick. Now, I wasn't actually going to pick this up, but I can always take another lipstick in my life. Always. They didn't really have any that stood out to me. This is actually a matte lipstick and it's the No7 Pro Artist Matte Muse. I ended up picking up the shade Rose Couture. This is okay. It's definitely not my favorite matte lipstick because I find that it does emphasize a few of my lip lines, but I think as long as you hydrate your lips prior or exfoliate, I think it would look okay. So that's the shade, which is, if you know me, you'll know that's right up my alley. It has a magnetic close, which is always appreciated. The bullet is actually lovely. Has that lovely detail. So I'm not going to use a lip liner. So this retails for about 20 euros, which is pricey, I would say. Now here's the thing, it actually doesn't look bad at all, but I find it to be, it's not as creamy or hydrating as I would expect from a 20 euro lipstick. I would expect it to be a little bit more comfortable than what it is. And it's fine, and you would have to look really close up, but I feel like it does kind of sink into my lip lines a little bit. That's all I would say for this, but it's nice. I just think you can find better out there at the drugstore, so possibly a touch overpriced. I wish I would have picked up maybe the mascara, although I know I'm on a mascara no buy. I've heard great things though about the cream bronzer, the one that's supposed to be a dupe for the Chanel. I've had a couple of viewers tell me about that, and I've heard great things about their loose powder as well, but I've just bought 2 new loose powders. I don't need any more. I think if I was to pick my absolute favorites, I would definitely say these multi-sticks. I really love them. I just wish I'd have picked deeper shades because I have actually used the bronzer on my eyes and it was really nice, but very similar to my skin tone, but really nice if you want something natural. I really love this foundation. It's not going to give you a ton of coverage. You can still see my skin. It's not giving me a ton of coverage, but it doesn't claim to give coverage. It just claims to give a really sheer wash to the skin. That's what it does. Perfect for light makeup days or no makeup days, or if you just don't like wearing a lot of makeup. I actually think the palette is my favorite. This is the best palette I've tried at the drugstore. It's just right up my alley. I feel like it was made for me. I do. And the things that I don't think you should run out and buy, I don't think you should run out and buy the matte lipstick. I just think there's better out there. And the concealer pen is absolutely fine. If you don't use a lot of product and you just like to tip away at concealer, just a little bit of a touch up here and there, I think you'll like it. But for someone like me who needs the coverage, who needs a little bit more from their concealer, then it's not really the best for me, but I'm obviously going to use it. But I think stingy, 1.8 mil. That is teeny tiny. So that is it. A little bit of a dive into No7 and their Pro Artist range. Again, this is not sponsored. No7 do not know who I am. I purchased all these with my own money. Again, if you want to see anything reviewed from the brand, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.